everyone? It's Eric, EJD715 from the Vinyl community. Let's see where to start. I've already tried to film this one time, so I'm going to try it again. I guess that'll work. Let me have a drink first. It's been a busy, I think the last video I uploaded was like almost a month ago. It's been busy. First things first, the main reason it's been busy in the last month is because EJD715 is a married man now. March 14th was the day. It was an amazing wedding. We had such an awesome time before, during, and after the wedding with all of our friends here in town. For those of you that don't know, I'm not from around this area. I live in New Mexico, southern New Mexico, but I'm originally from Chicago area. So like a lot of my friends are either from there, from St. Louis. I lived in St. Louis for a considerable amount of time too. So like everybody had to fly here from out of state. It's pretty awesome. And we had a really, really awesome time. I'm turning that down just a pinch. It couldn't have gone any better. Everything went perfectly. The rehearsal, the wedding itself, the ceremony, everything was awesome. Nobody had flight issues. It was almost like it was meant. I mean, it was like it was meant to be. You know, we're so happy about the wedding. Everybody just had a great time watching everybody from my family and my friends and her family and friends just like mingle together and everything. It was awesome. I mean, we were riding on it was like depression like a few days after everybody left. It was like, man, that was so fun. And we want that all the time. So with that said, the other main reason I've been busy is about 2 months ago, while I was on the 70,000 tons of metal cruise, right before the cruise actually, I interviewed for a position in Central Texas, a promotion position with my job. And I did pretty well in the interview. At least I thought I did pretty well. And it ended up I did do very well in the interview. However, I lost the interview by 1 point to the person that got the job. Now it's catch-22. It's bittersweet because the guy that runs the place where I would have been working, I worked with him for 4.5 years. From a distance, you know. I was in another location. He was at his location where this job was. Working with him from a distance, it was fine. Everything was great. But I hear from other people that have worked with him directly, like at the same location, can't stand him. So it's almost bittersweet. You know, that part I'm glad. But then the catch-22 is I didn't get a promotion. So fast forward a little bit more. My job here in southern New Mexico is basically pigeonholed. So my main thing now is to get back to St. Louis and start working there again. It's kind of like our headquarters, so to say. So I've already submitted like paperwork. My boss is on it, so the ball's rolling. So that means I got to put this house up for sale, and that's not fun. So whatever you see here in this nice man cave that I have will be taken down here probably next week or two. Which really sucks. Excuse me, but gotta do what you gotta do to get the house on the market and get it sold, so I don't sit on it for a while and have a house here and try and get a house in St. Louis. That'd be a nightmare. So that's a little bit of my personal life and why I haven't been able to film a video. I know everybody's, oh, you're making excuses, whatever. But these are really good excuses. So let's get on to what I'm really here for, and that's the music. I bought some cassettes recently. I just got this, let me show you. I just got a Nakamichi cassette deck recently. It's a CR2A. It's not a bad deck. It's kind of entry level for Nakamichi, but it's better than most cassette decks out there. So the cassette we're listening to right now it's falling apart. The case is warped. It's Yes Union from 1991. Now, as a kid, I didn't really like this album that much. I guess I was almost a teenager, but by this time it came out, but I was 12, I think. Yeah, I was 12 when this came out. Did not like this album when it came out. And I was into classic rock as a kid, big time. Didn't like this. But now the older I appreciate the talent of that band and John Anderson's awesome voice. This is the first time I played this in 20 years, and I'm really liking it. I really like the Bruford Wakeman Howe thing they did just before this, a couple years before this. So this is kind of in the same lines. It's got a little bit of that 90125 feel and that feel from the Anderson Bruford Wakeman Howe album. That's kind of like the marriage of the two yeses, so to say. So, Yes Union, it's cool. So I'll probably try and find that on vinyl, but that's probably really hard to get on vinyl. So I'll get the CD. Alright, okay, there's about 10 cassettes here, 10 or 12 cassettes here, so let's get into them. All these were $1, other than the couple that I'll mention at the end. I got, let's see, Talus, Sink Your Teeth Into It. It's opaque gray cassette on Relativity. Let's see, I got Winger's Pull, which is their third album. After this, the band kind of faded into obscurity for a while and then came back about 10 years later. This is a great album. It's not my favorite album from them, but it's heavy, it's dark. It was not the Winger you were expecting, but they had to change styles to gain any kind of headway with the onslaught of grunge at that time period. So, let's see. I got Heavy Pettin's first album. It's got the the drive-in theater motif on the front. It again is also on the it's a gray cassette on Polygram Records. I got two from Information Society. I got their first album, which I've got on vinyl. LJ, I don't know if you're into these guys. If you don't have this, I know you're into synth pop. I know you like synth pop. I think you'd really like this album, dude. It's really good. So let me know, and I'll send it your way if you want. This one I don't have, so I won't be sending this one. Information Society's third album, Peace and Love Incorporated. Never heard it, so I'll check it out. Here's one I didn't like as a kid. I thought it was too bluesy. I liked their second album, didn't really like their third album that much, and then this was their fourth album. White Lion's Main Attraction. It's a cutout. I remember being kind of bluesy. I remember the video. I think there was a video or two off this album. I can't remember the names of the song. Broken Heart, I think, was one of them. I'll give it another chance because my taste has changed since 20 years ago. So hopefully I'll dig this. Alright, Alan Parsons Project Greatest Hits Volume 2. It's on the white Arista cassette. First pressing, I'm sure. I got two from Warrior Soul, Salutations from the Ghetto Nation, and Chill Pill. 1992 and 1993, both on clear cassettes, because that's what they were doing by that time. Here's one I listened to. I thought it was pretty good. I'll give it another chance. I mean, it's really cheesy synth pop. It's called Pseudo Echo. It wasn't bad. These are Australian guys, apparently. I like synth pop. I know I'm a metal guy, but I like 80s synth pop. It reminds me of my childhood. I think LJ feels the same way. It's on a white RCA cassette. It's not bad. LJ, if you want this one, I'll send it your way. It's in okay condition. It might play a little bit better on yours. I had kind of some dropouts with it, but if you don't have it, let me know. If you have it, let me know as well. Kick Axe Vices. This is original, like I said, it's original pressing on the gray cassette. I picked up 3 today at the local Savers, which they didn't have anything else worth a shit, so this one I don't have on vinyl because I don't really care for this album that much. But 69 cents, you can't beat Billy Joel's Innocent Man. It's, I guess, the one with Uptown Girl on it. Here's a kind of a laugh by Starship, knee deep in the hoopla. By this point, Starship was like a joke of themselves. They've become like, I mean, I like synth, but this band really became like corporatized, so to say. I also got U2's Boy, first pressing, and the opaque cassette. Kind of cool. Oh wow! Each side contains a whole album on this. That's pretty cool. I didn't even realize that. Neat. Then the last cassette, which is one that really shocked me in a good way. I don't know how the hell I didn't know about this band. It's really good hard rock, almost AOR. It's a little bit harder, a little bit heavier than AOR, so I consider more just straight up 80s hard rock. It's not hair metal, but this is their second album. It's much heavier than their first album, at least from what I've heard. I vaguely remember one of the videos from the first album. I mean, I downloaded the first album just after I heard this cassette, and it sounded kind of familiar. But this cassette, I mean, you want to talk about good songwriting and hooks. Just, I mean, in the production, it's Peter Collins, who did like Rush's Hold Your Fire. I think he did Power Windows as well. He also did Queensryche's Operation Mindcrime and Empire, so you know what kind of ball field you're playing in here. This is Soraya's When the Blackbird Sings, man. This was freaking good. I've listened to this cassette now in the last 3 times in the last 2 days. I have an old car. It's kind of like my fun car. It's an '89 Honda Prelude, and it has an operating cassette deck in it. I actually played this in there. I've never played a cassette deck in it, and I've owned it for 4 years. But no, this, for people out there that like good '80s hard rock, even AOR, it's borderline AOR, but the guitars are too heavy for me to think it's AOR. If you don't have this, if you haven't heard it, do yourself a favor and get this. It was really sad because this is they made 2 albums. They're self-titled in this one, and I did some research on this, and this came out in '91. So this is the album that grunge forgot. This could have been, if grunge didn't happen, this probably would have been a huge seller. It's just really good songwriting. I don't even know if they made any videos off this record. It's a clear cassette, clear polygram cassette. So I went and ordered this on CD, like, yeah, last night. I really liked it that much, so it's rare for me to do that. I haven't heard this good of '80s hard rock in a long time. So it's Soraya, When the Blackbird Sings. If you can see that, really awesome stuff. Alright, let's get in the vinyl. So, me and my father do VCLT all the time, actually. Like every other week, we send boxes to each other. He sent me a box of a bunch of shit recently. Not shit, but it's good stuff. Starting off, this was like kind of a joke buy, but I like Howard Jones, so he bought me Howard Jones's You Know I Love You, Don't You single. It's like a 12-inch single. It's got like an unreleased track on it as well. It's okay. It's okay. It was in mint condition. It was $1, so that's why he bought it for me. Another one to complete the Yes collection. It's Yes Relayer, and this was like $4. This one's a really nice copy. I even include the receipt there. But this is a pretty common album, but I don't have it. I found this is an alternate cover too, of Camel's Mirage. I thought that was pretty cool. I think I had to flip the cassette, but I'll let it run out. This is a really good album. I think there's only one Camel album I didn't like that I've heard. I think it's something about a snow goose or something. That one I didn't really care for much, but this was really good, and this was like $10. So if you guys know Camel, this is a great album. I also picked me up an upgrade copy from his own collection that he gave me a couple years ago. His wasn't very good. Rick Wakeman's 6 Wives of Henry VIII. This is awesome. It shakes my man cave because I have a Velodyne sub hooked up, and it just rattles the house. It's awesome because it has some of his organ bass on there. We got Emerson, Lake and Palmer. This one is Pictures at an Exhibition. I don't have this one. This is a really nice one. It's a Cotillion original pressing, which is kind of cool. I didn't even know that until right now. Here's a classic one I've had on CD forever, Wishbone Ash's Argus. This is probably their best album. The first album is really damn good, too. This is, I don't know if this is original press or not. It's MCA. Don't know. I know there's 2 pressings of this, at least 2. I'm going to flip this cassette. It didn't play all the way through, but oh well. This one, I guess my uncle gave to him to give to me. Beatles reissue for Revolver. I'm not a huge Beatles fan. I actually had my dad's copy of this. It was in pretty haggard condition. It was an original Capitol color-bound pressing, but actually gave the first side a listen and I actually kind of liked it. So we'll see what I think of it later. Another one that he picked up was ELO's first album. I didn't have this on vinyl. He had almost all the ELOs, but he didn't have the first album. And he doesn't have the second album, so I'm trying to find that one too. Whenever I see their second album, it's always haggard. There's a local store in town I bought one album at. This is actually pretty cool. It's actually a Music for Nations compilation. It's called Welcome to the Metal Zone. It's actually really awesome. It's not in the best of condition. It's okay. I'd call it VG minus. But Rogue Male, they sound very almost Motorhead sounding. Exciter, Merciful Fate. This is really old. This is from '85, by the way. Wendy Williams, Tank, Megadeth, TKO, Wasted, Battle Axe, Sabotage from The Dungeons Are Calling, Loudness, Exodus, and Then There Were None, Earthshaker, Alaska, Rods, and Jack Starr. Really awesome compilation. I'm really glad I picked this up. Like I said, it's in VG minus condition, but it plays okay. There's a couple pops. It doesn't skip though. Either album doesn't skip. So I went to that store where I bought all those dollar cassettes. I picked up a couple of albums too. This one I didn't like much. It's Jet Boy Feel the Shake. Didn't like it. So it's if anybody wants, let me know if you want this. I'll send it your way. Jet Boy's Feel the Shake. It's in perfect condition. It barely looked like it was even played. I mean, the jacket's perfect. Everything's perfect on it. It's nice and shiny. I just didn't care for it. Didn't do anything for me. A sealed copy of Camel's Moon Madness. Pretty awesome. So it's like an upgrade copy for me. This was $12. So I'm pretty sure this is factory sealed. I know he buys stuff from oldies.com, and it's not warped, so that's a good thing. So it might be an oldies.com record. Here's a kind of a rare one. Jeff Beck's Guitar Shop. I used to have this on cassette as a kid. This is what Terry Bozzio on drums from Missing Persons. This is a great album. It's really cool. Really unique kind of song structures on some of these songs. Okay, so this is kind of a grail that's coming up. I got a couple left, so hopefully I'm not running out of time. Alice in Chains, Draw Flies with Sap, double album. Music for Nations. Yeah, it's a little bit pricey. I see that. But, man, I've been wanting this in the collection for a while. And this guy that I bought this from in El Paso, I haven't even opened this yet, by the way. He carries a bunch of the music on vinyl albums. And I'm very impressed by their pressings. I have 2 or 3 of them now. I think this is my 3rd. And I have Sanctuary, Saint in the Mirror Black, and it's an amazing sounding record. They're almost as good as like a Mo-Fi pressing. Very impressed. I did a trade. Did some trades here. I can't remember the guy's name. I think it's Brian Diddle, but don't quote me on that. He sent me Accepts Restless and Wild in like dead mint condition. Really nice copy. So I won't take it out, but this is a really nice piece. He also sent me Grim Reaper's See You in Hell, but it's not in very good condition, so I've already put it up for trade. The cardboard's perfect on it, but the album's not. Okay, Lance Heron. I bought this off him for $8. Shout the Devil, original pressing. It's not great. The jacket's not bad. It's got, some corner wear or whatever, but the color's good on it. The back's okay, but the vinyl is VG minus. It's got a couple scratches on it. It's the original Electra. Yeah, you can see the scratch right there on side 2. But it plays right through those scratches, even without a pop. You'll have some static here and there, but it plays, for a VG minus album, it plays really nice. I was really surprised. It's got kind of that old house smell to it, like it's been sitting in the basement for a while. Kind of cool, actually. I'm sure it was some teenager in the 80s had this album. But I prefer the OG pressing to that crappy reissue that they have out now. So, kind of cool to add that to the collection. Luis Ramirez, for those of you that do the Facebook page, he sent me this. It was still sealed. Candlemass to the Gallows End. It's an EP. Really nice piece. Cool album to have. My first Candlemass album, actually. Alright, shout out to Scott Waters. I know I forgot this album on my last post, and I feel bad about that. But he hooked me up with one of his own band records, Ultimatum. I'll tell you what, this album is awesome. Like, when I put this on, I just want to start thrashing around my man cave. I really liked it. And I even sent a little card with it, too. So Eric, hope you enjoy the record. Scott W. And there's Scott on the front there. But no, this was like, this is Heart of Metal, which is like a compilation of theirs. The first side is all new songs. The second side is stuff that they've remastered. It's awesome. I mean, even the old stuff sounds great. It holds up with the rest of the stuff. They're a very first-rate thrash band. They really sound tight. They're technical. It's very, very well written riffs. It's awesome stuff, man. Very happy to have this. Thanks, Scott. Keith Tabor sent me this gem. Oh man, I was so happy to have this. Doomsday News 2, Noise Records. It's a compilation. Awesome. Perfect condition. Promo stamp. But this thing is a beautiful copy. So happy to have this. My first album with for those of you that know this guy, he does his artwork, Andreas Marschall, German guy, does an amazing. He's my favorite. I'll say this, my favorite metal artist. Recent buy. This came out a couple weeks ago, and this album's amazing. I've only listened to it once, but stay tuned for another video. I'll tell you why. Well, we'll just look for another video in a sec after this one. But Steve Wilson's new album. It's called Hand Cannot Erase. It's a story. The album's got it's a concept album. It's kind of a dark, really dark record. Much darker than anything he's done since probably Porcupine Tree's Fear of a Blank Planet. Really good, real heavy, real heady to listen to. You got to really sit down with this one. I liked what I've heard so far, so I'm very happy to have gotten this. Actually, I have 2 copies. So there's a reason I have the other copy. So stay tuned. Thanks to Channel 33 RPM, Frank. Thanks for the hookup here. He bought. He didn't buy this one, but he bought the other one I bought. Kansas first album reissue on Friday Music. It's the 180 gram version. It's a gatefold too. But they were like, this was on Urban Outfitters for $10. I'm like, I can't pass this up. I love this album. I've been listening to this album since I was like 5. This first Kansas album. I used to have it on a cassette. Record off a record. So, great album. I have the original pressing, but this is the one I'll play now. Alright, one last album. Another Urban Outfitters. Oh, never mind. There's 2 albums. There's 2, yeah. It's kind of a grail, sort of. I know the OG pressings for this are kind of hard to get. Skid Row's first album. You know, as much as I like this album, I think it's a little bit overrated. I actually like Slave to the Grind a lot better. It's a lot heavier. The songs are better. But this is cool. I mean, it's cool to have this on vinyl. It's a Friday Music pressing as well. But it has the original, like the Atlantic logo on the vinyl itself. So Skid Row's first album. And last but not least, another Mo-Fi pressing from me. Sisters of Mercy, First and Last and Always. Awesome goth rock here, man. I love the song Black Planet, the first song. I really like the second album a little bit more than this. It's called Floodlands. But this is damn good. And again, Mo-Fi pressings, they just sound amazing. I put my freaking best cartridge on and listen to these, and there's not much better than that. So yeah, that's my vinyl haul update, cassette update, life update for that matter. Stay tuned for another video. I'm gonna post another video here, guys. So probably in a couple hours. My camera sucks at uploading videos, so yeah. Thanks for watching. Post any comments if you want, and stay tuned. Thanks, guys.